Welcome back to Touring History, the show where we
Welcome.
pretend to know what we're talking about while fumbling through the past. I'm Lane.
And I'm Fumbling Dave. We're your guides through the twisted highways of history, where we make wrong turns constantly. Watch out!
Today is May 12th, 2025, and as always, we're looking back at all the significant things that happened on this day throughout history. It's like reading Wikipedia after 3 beers.
Ooh, that's not a good thing. That's right, Lane. May 12th has quite the historical resume. Wars ended, blockades lifted, and earthquakes that shook more than just the ground. This day has everything. Well, a little bit of everything.
Let's start with the birthday celebrations. On May 12th, 1820, Florence Nightingale was born, the
Ooh.
mother of modern nursing, and probably the first person to say, "Have you tried putting a cold compress on that?"
That's right. And this won't hurt a bit. She was actually nicknamed the Lady with the Lamp. I've heard of her because she would check on wounded soldiers at night with a lamp and then turn around to check on another soldier and hit the first guy in the head with the lamp. And, well, she was not to be confused with my Uncle Terry, who was nicknamed the guy with the flashlight because he kept getting caught sneaking around his neighbor's yard.
Oh,
Terry, go
Uncle
back to
Terry.
bed.
Uncle Terry. Everybody's got an Uncle Terry in the
Oh, for
family
God's
tree.
sakes, there's Uncle Terry again.
Completely different situation.
Absolutely. May 12th also gave us Yogi Berra, not to be confused with Yogi Bear, born in 1925. Yankees legend and master of sayings that sounded profound until you actually thought about them.
Yeah, baseball is 90% mental. The other half is physical. Math was not his strong suit.
Yes, and neither was avoiding redundancy. Oh, it's deja vu all over again. Hey, boo boo. But hey, he won 10 World Series rings, so he could say whatever the heck he wanted to.
Yeah. Also born on this day in 1968, Tony Hawk, the man who made an entire generation of kids think that they too could skateboard off rooftops. They could not.
Hey, dude, watch me crash into this pool. I tried a kickflip once. Now I have what doctors call a permanently interesting walk.
I've seen that walk, Dave.
Isn't it
It
cool?
definitely draws attention.
Yeah, it's sort of up and down.
No one struts like you, strutting through history with a
It's a,
limp.
that's right. It's an interesting walk, isn't it? Permanent.
Some might say it's silly, and we
Yeah,
might have to report you to the Ministry of Silly Walks.
really walks. That's right. The Walker Brigade.
On to Arctic exploration. On May 12th, 1926, the airship Norge became the first aircraft to fly over the North Pole. It was piloted by Roald Amundsen, who was apparently not satisfied with just reaching the South Pole earlier.
Now, let's go again. Run. Anybody want to go round? Another round, huh? Some people just can't get enough of brutal, life-threatening climates. I've seen one pole. Oh, heck, might as well see the other one. Let's go. They're basically the same, but in opposite directions. I thought of that myself.
The Norge was basically a fancy balloon with an engine. These days, we have heated seats in our cars and still complain about the cold.
Ah, man, this bun warmer just isn't doing the trick. 98 degrees in here, practically freezing. Meanwhile, Amundsen was probably like, if my eyeballs don't freeze shut, it's a warm day. Where is that pole?
In much sadder news, on May
Oh,
12th, in
yeah.
1932, nothing happened. Nothing good happened in the 30s, was there?
True.
The body of Charles Lindbergh's kidnapped son was found. The
Oh,
Lindbergh baby kidnapping was called the crime of the century at the time.
yeah, it was a truly horrific event that led to the Federal Kidnapping Act, also known as the Lindbergh Law. I didn't know that. Sometimes it takes tragedy to create necessary change.
The case was a media sensation that dominated headlines for months. It shows how some things haven't changed, or like our endless appetite for tragic news.
That's right. Let's go back to the OJ case.
Oh man.
On a more positive note, May 12th, 1949 marked the end of the Soviet blockade of Berlin. Not Irving Berlin, but Berlin. For almost a year, the Soviets had blocked all land and water access to Berlin. This will fix them.
The Western Allies responded with the Berlin airlift, delivering supplies by plane. We're talking over 200,000 flights delivering everything from food to coal.
Wow, can you imagine? I mean, they actually would throw out bubble gum out of the airplane's windows, the pilots, so that the kids below could have something to eat.
Wow.
Here, have some chewing gum. We can't drive there, so let's just fly 2.3 million tons of supplies instead. That's like when the elevator's broken in my building and I have to take the stairs with groceries. Bummer.
That's pretty much exactly the same thing, Dave.
Yeah, well, in more recent history, on May 12th, 2008, a devastating earthquake hit China's Sichuan province, killing approximately 87,000 people. Wow, that must have been.
Ooh, wow. One of the deadliest earthquakes in modern history. It measured 7.9 on the Richter scale and affected millions of people.
Wow, I didn't know it went up that high. The scale of this disaster is almost impossible to comprehend. Entire towns were just gone.
Wow, Mother Nature doesn't mess around. She doesn't send a warning text or anything. It just
Nope.
happens.
Just goes boom. And on May 12th, 2010, David Cameron became the UK Prime Minister, forming a coalition government with the Liberal Democrats.
Ah, yes. Before Brexit made UK politics interesting in the way a house fire is interesting.
That's very interesting.
Dave, you're very interesting.
Thank you. Cameron promised not to hold a referendum on Brexit, then held one anyway, lost, and immediately resigned. Ha ha, good choice there, old Dave. It's like lighting a match, dropping in at a gas station, and then saying, well, that's my cue to leave.
I'm out of here.
Mic drop.
Uh, in movie history, on May 12th, 2002, Spider-Man, my favorite superhero,
Yes.
became the fastest film to reach 200 million at the box office, sparking a wave of branded marketing partnerships with companies like Burger King and Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I remember those Spider-Man cups at Burger King. Nothing makes you feel like a superhero more than drinking a gallon of soda from a plastic cup with a guy in spandex on it. Wow, look at me.
They don't look the same in the spandex as Spider-Man.
No, I know.
That film changed everything for superhero movies. Before then, comic book movies were hit or miss. After
Hmm.
Spider-Man, studios realized they could print money with men in tights.
And speaking of men in tights, no, and speaking of Burger King, on May 12th, 2017, they released a controversial Google Home ad that triggered people's devices at home.
I remember
Oh,
that, and it
yeah.
was it got a lot of buzz at the time. The 15-second commercial ended with a Burger King employee saying, "Okay, Google, what is the Whopper burger?" Which activated people's Google Home devices nationwide to read the Whopper's Wikipedia entry.
Freaky. Google quickly blocked the ad from triggering devices, but not before people realized their homes were being invaded by the king himself. Talk about having it your way, eh?
Ooh, oh my goodness. Well, it's time for our quick break. When we
Yay.
return, we'll cover more May 12th moments, including a historic tunnel opening and a former president's controversial trip.
So
Tip,
stay with
trip,
us,
could be.
history
Stay
lovers.
tuned and find
You
out.
say.
Folks, have you heard about the Ball Mason Jar Facebook group?
No.
It's where I know. Well, that's why we're telling you. It's where over 100,000 people gather to share delicious recipes and food ideas.
Wow. You know, Lane, I just joined that group last month, and my family hasn't eaten store-bought pickles since. It's the original time travel machine. Pickles for
That's
everyone.
pickles everywhere. That's right. The Ball Mason Jar lets you drop in some ingredients from gardens of the past, add seasoning, time, and some patience, and be rewarded in the future with food the whole family will enjoy.
Hmm. Patients? Like hospital patients? No.
Yes.
And the best part, you're not paying those crazy costs to supermarkets and giant food processing companies. My grandmother used to say, why buy it when you can jar it?
She sounds wise. Just like last week, I made spicy pickled carrots from a recipe I found in the group. My kids actually ate vegetables voluntarily.
No. The Paul
Yes.
Mason Jar Facebook group. Preserving more than food, they're preserving tradition. Join today.
And we're back with more May 12th moments. On this day in 1965, West Germany and Israel established diplomatic relations, a significant step in post Holocaust reconciliation.
Yes, Lane, this was a big deal. 20 years after the end of World War II, it represented an important moment in healing for both nations.
It was controversial in the Arab world, though, with many countries breaking diplomatic ties with West Germany in response.
Well, history is complicated that way, Lane. One handshake can build a bridge and burn three others at the same time.
Ooh, that's a good image. I like that. On May 12th, 1994, the UK's Queen Elizabeth II and French President Francois Mitterrand officially opened the Channel Tunnel.
Ah, yes, the Channel, connecting two nations that have spent most of their history trying to invade each other.
England and France finally figured out that trading cheese and tourists is better than trading cannonballs.
Ah, here's another ball for you, England. The tunnel runs under the English Channel for 31 miles. That's a long way to go underwater without seeing a single fish lane.
And it took 13,000 workers 6 years to build. Just think that's 13,000 people digging a hole and hoping they'd meet in the middle.
They're around here somewhere. Dig that way for a while. Yeah, it's like a really high-stakes version of digging to China, but in your backyard.
That's right. I've actually taken the channel. Have you?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, there's still guys out there digging. They can't find them, though.
They're digging the off ramps.
Yep,
Uh,
exactly.
but yes, listeners, we recommend it. It's a great way to go from London to Paris and have a nice day of it. It's fun.
It's a wonderful tube ride, yes.
If you have the means, I highly recommend it. All right, diplomatic milestones. On May 12th, 2002, former U.S. President Jimmy Carter began a historic 5-day visit to Cuba, becoming the first U.S. president, current or former, to visit since Castro took power in 1959.
Yeah, Carter was always a bit of a diplomatic maverick. I mean, while the official U.S. position was still firmly anti-Castro, Carter was there shaking hands and taking tours, having some, what do they call them? Cuba Libres.
Hmm, that sounds good.
Yeah.
What's the other drink with the mojito?
Ah, mojito. Little
Mojito.
hito, a mojito.
Burrito with mojito, please.
Sí, un
Uh,
poquito.
he even gave a speech in Spanish on Cuban television, though I'm told his accent was about as Cuban as a Taco Bell is Mexican.
Ah, hola, senor. Hey, you tried. That's more Spanish than most presidents speak. Usually they just know how to say, hey, vote for me. And is this a good photo op? Hmm?
On to health crises, Dave, because those are always interesting.
Yeah.
In public health history on May 12th, 2003, that marked the peak of the SARS outbreak in East Asia.
Yes, contagions are interesting, Lane. SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome, was a coronavirus that infected about 8,000 people worldwide and killed nearly 800.
Looking back, it was kind of a dress rehearsal for COVID-19, except we apparently learned nothing from it.
Nothing. Hey, remember that respiratory virus that spread around the world? Let's completely forget any lessons from that experience.
Yeah,
Over.
yeah. What are you talking about? There's nothing happening. Humans are great at learning from history, aren't we? I think that's what we're
Yeah.
learning.
Yes. Let's talk about pop culture, Lane.
Okay, go ahead, Dave.
All right. Finally, on May 12th, 2021, Elon Musk hosted Saturday Night Live, which was a choice.
Ah, yes, the episode where the world's richest man revealed he had Asperger's syndrome and tanked Dogecoin prices during his monologue.
Yeah, it was actually like watching your awkward uncle perform at the company talent show, except your uncle has more money than most countries.
The episode drew mixed reviews, but it was one of the most watched in years. People couldn't look away, like a car crash where the car costs $70,000 and has weird doors.
Yeah, that was a big mistake. And that brings us to today, May 12th, 2025, another day when things will happen that future history nerds will talk about while making questionable jokes.
Maybe someone's inventing something amazing right now. Or maybe someone's making a huge mistake that future historians will analyze for centuries.
Or both. Often it's the same event, Lane.
That's all the time we have for today's tour through history. I'm Lane.
And I'm Dave, reminding you that history, well, is just gossip that's aged really, really well. Like cheese.
That's right. Join us next time on Touring History, where we'll continue to pretend we understand the complexities of human civilization.
What does that mean? Goodbye, history lovers.
Goodbye.